What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony. Today I want to show you 3 categories of items that are seemingly vague yet oddly specific that are often overlooked in thrift stores that can make you some money on eBay. Alright, if that intro is confusing, hopefully once you see what I'm talking about, it'll start making more sense. These are categories of items that are pretty common in thrift stores. I find this kind of stuff all the time, but a lot of times they're overlooked because they don't necessarily appear to be valuable. So the first category of items I want to talk about are calculators. Now everyone knows about the Texas Instrument graphing calculators or the HP business calculators, but I'm talking more about these vintage like Casio or Sharp calculators, like this right here. This one was priced at 69 cents. Now on the surface these appear to be worthless, and a lot of them that look like this are, but sometimes you'll find one that has a special feature. Like this one has little music notes. That's because the keys double as sort of a piano of some sort. I found them before that also play games, that have little organizers in them, you know, that kind of thing. Something that makes them stand out, something that makes them different. And a lot of times they'll be worth money. This one does work. It worked when I bought it. I just need to replace the batteries. That's why it's still sitting here. But this one sells anywhere from $25 on up to $90, which is not bad for a 69-cent investment. I've found them before that have games on them, and those have sold anywhere from $50 to $150. So definitely something that's often overlooked that you should keep an eye out for. Basically, if a calculator doesn't look like some cheap little plastic dollar store calculator, it's probably worth looking up. Okay, now the next category of items is personal hygiene items, especially discontinued personal hygiene items. When it comes to personal hygiene, people get really set on what they use, and when it becomes discontinued, that sends them into a frenzy, and they're willing to pay stupid prices for otherwise cheap items. Like this right here. This is an old tube of Palmolive shave lather that they do not make anymore, and I paid 99 cents a long time ago for about 25 bottles of it. This one I didn't sell because the condition is kind of, I guess, squeezed. But the ones I did sell, I sold for upwards of $20 a tube. I think the bottom may have dropped out on these a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because I sold all mine except for this one. But it's just an example of an item that people got used to using and they stopped making it, so people started paying ridiculous prices for them. I saw a lot of these recently that it was like a lot of 4 that sold for around $50 on eBay. So you might still be able to make some money on them if you see them out and about. But another thing to look out for is discontinued toothpaste, razors, razor blades, even like used shavers. Just make sure you clean all the hair out of the used shavers. That's kind of a dirty job, but you know, if it's worth enough, just put some gloves on and get some canned air and you'd be good to go. Used electric toothbrush bodies and parts, water jet parts. These are all things that people might not necessarily realize are valuable, especially when they're used, but if people want them, they want them. Also, while I'm thinking about it, one specific type of toothpaste that you should definitely look out for is Mentadent. There's a huge following for Mentadent, and it's discontinued. So if you see that out and about, make sure you grab it because you'll make a ton of money on that. Alright, so the last category that I want to talk about is probably the strangest. Vintage plastic dinosaurs or dragons. Now that sounds weird, but I see this kind of thing all the time in toy aisles of thrift stores, and they're usually about 99 cents. And a lot of these, especially the older ones, can be worth a lot of money. Old dragons or old Godzillas or even like the basic dinosaurs. I don't know all the brands, but one brand to look out for is Imperial. You'll see those a lot that are made in the 80s, and some of them can be worth a lot of money. So they're definitely worth picking up, especially if you're paying $1 a piece for them. A lot of times you'll see on the foot enough information to look it up online or on the belly or something like that. But there's usually enough markings on it that you can look it up and find a value for it. Now, they're not all worth money. Like this one. This one's from 2013, and it's not worth a ton of money. It's some sort of, I think, Toys R Us exclusive or something. And you can sell it for upwards of $15 to $20, but it's kind of bulky and weird shaped and just not really worth my time to sell it. And my son likes to play with it, so I just kind of keep it around. But as weird as it sounds, make sure when you're at thrift stores, you look up vintage plastic or rubber dinosaurs and dragons. You might be surprised. Alright guys, well there's just a few categories of items that can make you a little money on eBay when you're shopping in the thrift stores. Be sure to hit the like button down below if you find this kind of video helpful. And as always, drop your comments and make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Alright guys, that's what I got for you. I'll see you next time. Bye.